Hey folks, oh, you see this place here? One thing I don't do, I don't shy to stupidity. So, once upon a time, you see how they got the name Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now, I came to this establishment a few years ago. Right? I'm thinking I'm going to Jesus' church. Right? I'm just getting in my vehicle. Now that you guys see in the building. Okay? So they're little kids from the States. They come and they walk the streets and they collect information. They're investigators. Okay? And they call people back and they visit you. And I had that whole slogan, right? But first I went to the church. And then I had to sit there and I talked with two of their youngins, right? Then the next thing you know, I got visitors, like congregation, I guess, visitors, part of their recruitment center. And then I get this lady that comes up to me and she gives me the piece of paper. I'm an investigator of the church, or I'm investigating them as they're investigating me, right? And then I get the old 15%. Well, if you want to be a part of our establishment, you got to pay 15%. And they're trying to sell me on the fucking on the aspect of when a person dies, they have to receive a certain type of blessing in their temple and everything else. And they show me pictures of their temple. And really interesting stuff, right? But always wanting to jump to Smith. Everything talked about Smith, not Jesus, but Smith, and their stories. So anyways, I got these two guys, right? Now the one guy that's part of this church, okay? I'm calling you out, you son of a bitch. You fucking liar. Okay, I'm calling you out. That's right. I swore. I'm swearing. Okay? Because you're a fucking thief. Now this guy's got glasses. I can't remember his name. If I knew his name, I'd say it. Okay? He's got a mustache. I believe at the time he had a mustache beard. He has a podcast from the Valley. I don't know if he still has it, but he talked about it. Okay? He had a child in 2022. Or his wife had a child. He had a baby. Now, he come to my house, right? This was his second visit. I already had 2 visits from the other guy that owns apartment buildings. Can't remember his name either. Okay? So, anyways, they're really fascinated with my Mason book, my Mason's Bible, James King version of the Bible. But it's all in blue, and it's got the Masons on it. And then it's got names inside. Now, I got 2 pages, full pages of names, and one of the names in there is Smith, right? So, and the Bible come from the U.S., so it's kind of historical. Okay. Now he asked me to borrow the Bible just to look at it and talk to people about it. He wanted to show some people, so I said okay. Then I went to church the next day, right? Their congregation. Now I didn't get to talk to him because he was busy with his baby. Okay. But I wanted my book back, so I says I'll get him next week. And then some things happened, and then time happened, and then I started doubting myself. Like, did I really lend him this book or not? You know? All in all, I came back to the church, okay? But I waited, 2 months ago. Okay, I walked in. They weren't there. So I came back the following week. Walked in, and there he is. So I corner both of them, right? Now, the one guy, he says, no, it wasn't me. The other guy says, oh, no, it wasn't me. And then it all started clicking, right? Yeah, it is you, because the next day I was going to get my book back, but you were busy with your baby. I remember clear as day. And I asked you, you're one of the elders of the church, for my Bible back. But I never took it. I never gave it. You never gave it to me. You're a liar. You're a liar. And when I see you face to face, we're going to have the conversation again. You're a liar. Now, this fucking place They want to collect 15% of your wealth, of your energy, of what you put in for your home. So you're going to pay 15% to a fucking establishment that doesn't give back. It doesn't give back. You know why? You know how I know? Because I had to deal with it. I came to them, first of all, because I needed information. Because I had to deal with CAS, okay? My ex, and the school. Why? Because the school, okay, a public school where you're not supposed to have any inclination to religion. It's non-religious. It's a general, so no religion. We had to take down the cross, and you can't say the Our Father. And so if you can't say the Our Father, and you can't talk about other religions, then there's no religion in public school, right? My understanding, anyways, my thought of it. They gave my son some homework, and at the bottom of it was all the major idols that religions use that depict what they are. Okay, like the Jewish got the kippah. The old Christians, they have the old robe with the rope across it. You know, like pilgrim. You know what I mean. At least I hope you do. Anyways, they had different religions and all put together on one young child. And it was about, and it talked about Ramadan. Ramadan, right under it. Okay? So you're encompassing all the religions and putting them all, slamming them all into one public school. So I say something. And so the teachers makes it out like I'm threatening the teacher. Okay? The school makes it out that way. Okay? So then my ex, her best friend, she calls her Bree. But anyways, I'm having to deal with CAS. They give my ex advice, bad advice. My ex holds my child for a whole year, and I'm having to fight in court, and all this ridiculous money spent and all that for nothing, because they were saying I was abducting my child. Now, I have native blood in me. I did not get a CAS native person. Nope. To understand the spiritual side of things. They said I was trying to abduct my child religiously. Well, I don't have a religion because I'm not a part of any of those establishments in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I frowned on them because they're not teaching you right. They're lying to you. They're screwing you up with bad stories, not truth. Okay? You got to bring in the science. You got to bring in the history. You got to bring in what you see, what you know, the vibration, the sun, the moon, the earth, the waters. You got to bring it all in. You got to look at the reality of what you're experiencing through all your senses. Okay? Anyways, so I don't get to see my son for a whole year. I'm coming to this establishment and I'm talking with their little boys that are running around, right? And they're helping me and we're putting paperwork together. And then I guess I was getting too close to the how can you put it? Too close to proving my point of what was going on around me. And so the boys tell me, we're not allowed to get involved in legal things and this and that. There's nothing legal going on here. You're assisting me. All I'm saying is, what's your opinion on what you're reading and what you're understanding? And they wouldn't give me an opinion. They wouldn't do nothing. So why are you here? I'd kick them out of my house. I'd get the fuck out of here. You're useless to me. You're useless tits. You don't stand up for nothing unless there's Smith around it. Well, I know my Bible had Smith in it. And I know this lying cocksucker from this church, the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Bullshit. Bullshit. You're making a mockery of Jesus Christ's name. Okay? You're collecting 15% out of people's pocket that energize their lifestyles. We're already paying 13% in taxes. So you take that 15, you take that 13. How the fuck do you people survive in the church? How do you afford all that? And then you got your bills and you got your children and everything else. God never asked for any money. He doesn't need money. He gave us all this. Are you people stupid? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Or are you a child of God and you really want to understand God and you really want to understand what's going on? Stay away from establishments like this. They're stealing from you and giving you false hope, false impressions, false everything. How can you live with yourself with the way these people make you feel instead of helping you help yourself? By looking at things in a more realistic way on how we can spend our energy in a better way rather than filling their pockets up so they can build more buildings so their higher ups can pretend that they're prophets. They're bullshit. Okay? 10 and under? You say you're a prophet? I'll believe you. 10 and under. Little kids that look at things and marvel over it and then express themselves. I'll believe them before I believe a dirty old adult that has been stealing and scheming off of fucking people and asking for money, okay, for their establishment. What do they do to help people? Nothing. Trust me. Unless I signed up and gave them 15% of my fucking wealth, they stood there and said, we can't even baptize you. People, wake up. Wake up. I'm flipping tables. Wake up. Help me flip some tables, man. Help me make some noise. Help me look like a bad guy.